Approximately 70% of you are looking for a way to change your career to become UX designers. At least according to the data that I acquire since I started this channel and the classes I was teaching in the recent months. So, in this video I want to provide answers to the most burning questions you may have, like, is it not too late for you to change your career to UX design? Is UX right for you? Can you do it with zero background in design? How to do it, and finally, how long it will take. Let me start from the statement that transitioning to UX from a different career may be easier than you think. One of the big advantages of UX is its diversity. During my 15 years in the field, I encountered a lot of designers with many different backgrounds. There were people with background in social sciences, marketing, IT, arts, graphic design, and many more. I myself came to UX design from being a graphic designer. UX design is a field where skills from different specializations can provide value from different experiences and perspectives. It's likely that the skills you developed can be applied to UX in some way. One of the most often asked questions I hear is the one related to time concerns. People over 30s, even 40s, are reaching out and saying that they would really like to try, but they are worried that it's simply too late for them. And most often my answer is that if you are persistent enough and with enough work on your end, you should be able to enter the UX design field with no problem. Of course, you need to remember that it's similar to trying to acquire any other skill, like trying to play an instrument. But as you may think, it requires certain, how to put it, interests, predispositions. That's why most of the successful stories that I know about are typically related to situations where people had careers very close to UX, like graphic design, marketing, or general IT. Sometimes it is natural development path, like in my case where I naturally transitioned from graphic design through web design to UX simply by acquiring more knowledge and specializing. Does that mean that you can't be successful, even if you are coming from a totally unrelated field? Absolutely not, but it will be harder simply because you will need to familiarize yourself with more concepts. Also, starting a new career path may be challenging for people at certain ages. When you are 30 or 40, you may have a family that depends on you financially, or other obligations that make risky moves simply too risky in comparison to a 25-year-old single without any personal or financial ties, that if he fails, no one else but him or her will suffer. Next popular question that I hear a lot is UX right for me? I published a video about that particular topic on this channel already. If you're interested, you will find a link to it in this video description. UX is a field with many specializations that may fit your predispositions better than others. So the thing I typically recommend for any of you wondering about your fit is to gather as much information about them as you can. Some are focused more on the research side, like UX researchers. Some focus more on the visual aspect of UX, like interface designers. Team management or generalist, which combines most aspects of UX in one role. Primary argument for picking UX for your career occupation is that on average, it is the most well-paid type out of all design specializations. It requires from you a mix of technical, creative and soft skills, but also understanding of human psychology and analytical thinking. Apart from that, you need to have a specific set of personality traits. Some of them are empathy, adaptability, problem solving and growth mindset. Also, you need to be good at communicating and collaborating with others. Can you enter the UX field without any background in design? Is the next question on our list. People interested in that career path are often scared that they won't be able to do it because the last thing they designed was a school project in the 3rd grade. Answer to that question is the simplest one out of all of them. With the development of the resource markets targeted for designers, free-to-use design systems, and advantages in design tools we use, you will rarely be designing interfaces from the ground up. Most of the time, it's just a question of how to put all of the interface components together without the need for artistic sense. UX design is very much different from graphic design or brand design on that front. Although artistic sense and the visual design principles are very much helpful, you can always stay on the more analytical end of the UX. I think the most burning question that all of you looking for a career change have is how to do it. What do you need to do to start working as a UX designer? When I started, it was very much different story. Knowledge was scarce, there was a lot of trial and error, and it took me significantly longer than for my younger colleagues. Nowadays there are a bunch of good courses that you can take. Online classes, books and channels like this one, where you can find easily digestible knowledge with many examples. I recommend starting from an online course or class at the beginning, simply because most of the time all of the necessary concepts will be presented there. From there you can move to popular books, advanced courses and training by making your own projects. Then it's a question of preparation of online portfolio. You don't need to create it yourself. You can use services like Behance, Dribbble or any other service with portfolio templates. What you need to have in there are at least 3 well-described case studies, which would showcase your design process. Then it's a question of applying for job postings and hope for the best. In terms of time, it's a very personal thing. Some of my students were able to land a job within 3 months after they started. Some need a year and even more. It depends heavily on the amount of effort and work you will put into it.